There is not enough language to discuss existing in more than one culture right now. In the process of creating this video, I ended up just having to record a voice note that explained my thoughts and experiences, just because it was so hard to describe in words. Before even starting to explain my own experiences, I must acknowledge that while speaking about existing within two cultural experiences, I often sound like a racially ambiguous mixed race person trying to justify their racial identification, which also surprised me as well, must say. But my experience is valid, and so is the experience of so many other people that have gone through similar things. So stay with me. In my own not-so-unique experience as a Nigerian-American that has grown up entirely in the United States, with strong ties to their country of origin through direct family members with their own unique views and experiences straight from the motherland, let's just say that there have been many times where I have felt the difference between me and my non-children of African immigrant friends. For me, it's never been a hierarchical difference. The experience was just different. When I came home and ate jollof rice, egusi, and pepper soup with goat meat, I was very much aware that my friends were eating collard greens, mashed potatoes, and spaghetti with meat sauce. It never detracted from any of my friendships. It was just there. Then, of course, there was the element of children being children and finding something different to pick on. AKA the African booty scratcher jokes that my trauma will not let me forget. As a matter of fact, I still remember a certain experience where I wanted to get waves, right? Because that was the thing that was cool at the time. Not everybody want long hair, that's neither here nor there. This was in like the 8th grade, and I just remember somebody telling me, you know your BB shots ain't built for that. And let us not forget the people that told me to speak African with a little too much pep in their tone for me. But that conversation about internalized anti-blackness is for a different day. All of this to say, my other friends were not roasted for the same reasons as me. They were not. And that's an important part of my experience that should be acknowledged. But another part of that experience that should be acknowledged is that every black kid was being roasted for some reason, so I never really felt that differentiated, to be honest with you. Now, originally, this was just going to be a Patreon ad break, because we have a Patreon, everyone. But then I realized that I got shouted out by FD the Signifier, and I had to stop editing the video for a little bit because I almost passed out. But there is one tier on the Patreon right now, but you're free to give anything that you want to. I appreciate everything that helps me actualize my goal of doing this full time. So, hope you all enjoy the rest of the video. Moving on, these specific experiences that made me feel somewhat othered were all products of white supremacy. It's classic. One side believes harmful stereotypes about the other, originating from literal European colonizers, might I add. The other side does as well. The cycle continues. Yeah, I'm not finna do that. And I can't help but think that it's difficult to talk about these things on purpose, because the diasporan unity that comes from intellectual and intercultural conversation between black people is so empowering that it's threatening to a certain subset of the population that has time and time again tried to diminish the voices of black people, but that's just me speculating. Ultimately, I think that the differences in our experiences are beautiful and interesting. So let's try to accept one another as whole people instead of trying to find separation and differences. Especially since in the case of the African diaspora, that separation is detrimental to all of us in a society that judges us based on our race. So now, I pose a question to every single person that this video resonated with. Will you continue the cycle of anti-black stereotypes, the bullying, the downright foolishness? Or will you be the brick wall that it crashes into? I have victoriously finished another video, and until the next one, bye!